Hey, today is my 100th video of the year. It's also my 300th movie of the year. So I decided to go with a special theme, and that theme is Disney Channel original movies that I've seen before that feature an actor that I still watch and stuff today. And the names of those three movies are Eddie's Million Dollar Cook-Off, Smart House, and Right on Track. First up is Eddie's Million Dollar Cook-Off. I am utterly confused why this movie is so good. Like, it has no right to be as good as it is. I unironically love this movie. It is terrific. This is a 2003 movie, and the basic premise is it is about this 8th grader who is really good at baseball, and his dad really wants him to keep doing baseball stuff, but then he slowly discovers that he actually really likes cooking. But his dad's not gonna have any of that because we're all about toxic masculinity in this family. There's just so many things about this movie that work. Like, the acting isn't bad, and I would say kind of good. Like, not Oscar-worthy good, but like passable. I accept that this person is doing the thing that they're saying they're doing. The writing is actually kind of great. Like, they do a really, really good job of having toxic masculinity moments, but not having them be grating and obnoxious. Like, you still get this is a bad thing, but it's not, you don't hate everything that's happening. They did it in subtle ways at times too. Like, my favorite one was the dinner scene. So after Eddie tries cooking for the first time and everyone loves it, his best friend kind of makes like a little lighthearted joke about it, and Eddie's just like, oh, it was funny. But then Eddie's dad and brothers just like jump on this and then just start spewing out all this sexist bullshit, and it just destroys Eddie. They built to it so organically, and it was very realistic. And like, speaking of like realistic things, like the dad is almost like cartoonishly toxic masculinity at times, but I've met a ton of dads just like him, if not worse, throughout my life. Also, this movie's legit funny. Like, I was laughing a lot. The humor just worked. Obviously, there's sometimes it was like a little childish, like when he was dancing while cooking. It was just like, okay, come on, whatever. But at the same time, I actually do remember like that stuff when I was a kid watching this movie, and I connected with that. And I'm sure I probably dance cooked a few times in my childhood making grilled cheese. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I definitely recommend it. I will say you just have to watch this with the view of it's a kid's movie, it's silly, it's goofy, it's not directed at you, but it is really, really, really good. Next up is Smart House. This is a 1999 film, and I quickly remembered that this was actually one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies as a kid. Like, I love sci-fi stuff, and this just like really connected with me to the point of like, I was able to quote along to it at times, and I haven't seen this movie in like probably 20 years. So yeah, the basic premise is it's about this family win this contest to live in this smart futuristic house. And really the movie is about dealing with grief. I mean, really breaking this movie down, it's really good. It's got really good messaging and themes and stuff and ideas there. The actual execution of it was fine. The acting was more or less passable. The dialogue wasn't great. This one definitely felt more of like a cheap TV movie. Cinematography wasn't great. Fun fact though, it was directed by LeVar Burton. Really blew my mind. I also weirdly remembered that I was definitely attracted to all three adult characters in this movie. Yeah, halfway through the movie, a bunch of teenage boys randomly break out into dance. It does kind of make sense in context of the movie, but at the same time it is like, what's going on here? This is ridiculous. But I got a memory back that I was very surprised by, and that is, I definitely tried to memorize the dance that they did, and I think I did. I remember dancing with them as they do their stupid moves. It's a really simple dance, so it doesn't surprise me that I was able to memorize it. So yeah, that's an embarrassing fun fact about Charlie for you. Would I recommend this movie? No, unless like you have a good nostalgia for it, it's not really worth it. It's cute, it's fine. I definitely am glad I watched it way back in the day, and I'm glad I rewatched it today. It is what it is, and yeah. And lastly is Right on Track. This is a 2003 Disney Channel original movie based on a true story. The basic premise is it is about these two sisters who are really into drag racing, and it's about their rise through this male-dominated sport. The acting in it was very, very not good, but the biggest detriment to this movie was just how they handled toxic masculinity. It was just like eating a gravel sandwich. It was just like, stop, please stop. It was the complete opposite of Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. I get it, like, people are dicks. They're intimidated by your strength, and you being here emasculates them, and that's definitely 100% on them and their terrible upbringing, but like, it's just, they just wrote it so bad. It's just like, there's just not a lot of redeeming stuff about this movie in general. The one redeeming quality, though, that actually helped put it up pretty dang far is Brie Larson. She plays the younger sister. She's like 12 in this or something, and she's basically the comic relief character, but she's actually really funny, and every time she gets to speak, and really just anytime she's on screen, she just brings a presence that just livens the entire movie. She elevates the movie so much. She really legit made this movie. Otherwise, this easily would have been a didn't like. It's because of her that it's in the meh category. So good job, 12-year-old Brie Larson. Yeah, I definitely don't recommend this one. It's even if you got nostalgia for it. The only way I would recommend it is if you just are really curious about 12-year-old Brie Larson. But even with that, I would just say just fast forward when she's not on screen, and you'll be good. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off sitting at number 41 in the really like section. I'm not kidding, guys, it's really good. And then after that is Smart House sitting at number 179 in the liked section. And then bringing up the rear is Right on Track, sitting at number 193 in the meh category. And this is out of a total of 241 old movies so far this year. And that brings the grand total out of all the movies I've seen so far this year up to 300. So many movies. And technically there's even more, because there's a list of movies that don't count. Yep. So if you're being pedantic, the real number is 327.